It should go. It won't time me out, right?
No, it should go.
Okay, awesome. All
Are you gonna
right.
share your screen or just talk?
Um, what'd you say?
You have your presentation. Are you gonna share your
I
presentation or
don't know
just talk?
how. Do I know how to do that?
I don't know. Is it in
It's in
Google?
PowerPoint, but I don't see, oh, I can share my screen. Okay, let's see if this
Yeah.
works. Hi, everyone. I know I just started recording. Welcome to the monthly team call. I'm recording this because um, I wanted to make sure I went over one of the portions for coach confessions, which was consulting. And it was something that we had a great discussion on. So we will continue that today. And I'm going to see how this works. This is my first time trying to share my screen. So bear with me, Katie. I know you're listening in. This should be
Okay.
interesting. But it's a PowerPoint slide. Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you pull it up, then when you click share screen, you should be able to see
A
your different
desktop.
screens are open.
Ah,
The only thing is I don't think you'll be able to go into full screen mode. I think you'll have to stay on this mode.
like this. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, cool. All
Bigger. There we
right. I learned something new for my team.
go.
That's good. Katie, we'll get you on Zoom. I know we're having trouble. It's okay. I use it from my computer. It's easier for me that way. But thank you guys for jumping on. We might have a few people jump on late, but I wanted to talk a little bit about consulting today. And consulting is such an important part of being a Beachbody coach. And the reason why, and I know for all of us coaches, um, it's something that tends to be overlooked if you get too busy. If you're streamlining yourself and you're too worried about Success Club, or you're, getting caught up in anything else. Consulting is such an important part of the business because to the customer, you are the face of the company. So the first experience they have is with you. So you are essentially, even though you're a coach and you're a counselor, you're really a consultant by nature too. So for anyone listening, I would recommend that you take notes. And the first thing that I would ask, and I thought about this, I did not present this in front of everyone, but I want you to really think about a time where you went to a business or to a company and you just had the best experience customer service wise. So whether it been, a credit card company, or for me, I know one of my best experiences was Southwest, always has, always will be, I feel like. And think about what, some of those feelings, why it came about. So what made you feel like you had a great customer service experience? And then when you think about that, kind of break it down. Like, what was the first interaction that you had? Was something messed up and maybe they recovered quickly? Was it positive actions? All those things, and really try to relate that to your business. So I try to do that myself because I feel like first impressions are so important. So that's why we really wanted to make consulting a topic. I know Lindsay and Amanda are kind of experts on this. I'm getting there. But I feel like I've learned a lot, especially over the last year or so, just as far as making sure that people, especially with their first experience in a challenge pack, is one of the best. All right. So I'm going to go into the first slide here. And the biggest topics that we're going to talk about on consulting are 6 points. And the first one is going to be communication. The second is going to be patience, because that's sometimes kind of a hard thing for people. The next one is going to be attention, more so attention to detail than anything. And then the next one is going to be knowledge of the product. And then we have positive language. And the last but not least, for sure, is going to be fortune in the follow-up. And that is going to seal the deal and really be probably the biggest one there. So with that said, I'm going to start with communication first. And communication is so important because whether you're inviting someone or they've reached out to you, this is now your chance. So you're in the spotlight, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is not necessarily talk their ear off. You're definitely going to want to lead and probe with questions. So, hey, for example, if someone reaches out to you and says, hey, I'm really interested in the 21-day fix. how much is it? Of course, naturally, some people might want to just answer with a statement, but we really want to understand, what they want, what they're looking for. So we're going to get our consultant hat on and start forming them, right? So we're going to start leading them with questions. Even if they, say, hey, just give me the link, I'm ready. Try to be excited, but don't overwhelm them with information. Ask them why they're interested, where they heard about it, maybe try to get to know their lifestyle. Basically, forming is going to encompass all of that. And definitely one of the biggest pieces that sometimes is left out is asking them about their nutrition, because I've had people where in the past I've never mentioned that, and they literally ate pizza every single day, and it was a really hard adjustment for them, and the plan might not have been the best. So just keep that stuff in mind. I would also say that, just for example, yesterday, and I started doing this a lot, and I know Amanda and Katie, you might have a different way of doing things, but I used to get stuck behind my computer screen way, way too often. And now I am a big component of picking up the phone. So now when I talk to people, I ask them if they want to carve out some time with me. And I'll just say, hey, listen, here's my number. Do you want to talk? And it can be up to 15 minutes. So I have a phone consultation with people more oftentimes than not at this point. And I found it to be much better because they can hear you being genuine in your voice. So it's a huge part of communication. You can do it over Messenger, but you will not be a successful coach if you sit behind a computer screen every day. It's just inevitable. I think any top coach will tell you that. Then you're going to want to find a way to say, once you get to that point of someone being very interested, find a way to say, well, because you said blank, I would really recommend you trying blank because it will give you blank. So for example, I'll put some words in there, but this is actually something that I took from Lindsay, and it said, and I'm just going to use this as an example. So because you said you like dancing, I would really recommend you trying size because it will give you those results that you're looking for. When you told me that you wanted to tone up, you're going to be able to have fun. You're going to be able to do it in the comfort of your own home. So you're really listening to them and identifying some of their likes and some of their needs. Now you can use any example, and feel free to shoot it off of myself if you get into a situation where you don't know what to say to someone. I think for new coaches, sometimes you get caught up in this. And like, I've bounced ideas off of Amanda before. Don't feel like you have to answer people right away. It's not a text message. If you're on the phone, it's a little bit easier, but make sure you're really understanding what they want and what they need in the consultation process. All right. And take notes. If you have any questions, I'll open it up at the end. All right. And then patience. So patience is a big one, because while you're asking all these questions, sometimes they'll stop in the middle of a conversation, right? And we've all been there where we're forming someone, we think it's going so well and we're getting excited, and then we just don't hear from them again. We send them a video, they don't get back to us. Just be there to, we'll talk a little bit about follow-up, but make sure you're listening and not taking it personally when they're not getting back to you right away. So if you end with a question, that's okay. Just come back and, follow it up with another question. But, remember to be patient, listen to what they're saying, be a friend first, and know that it takes multiple exposures and act like you're talking to like one of your friends. Be casual, be calm. You're not, I know we have scripts out there, but don't be too scripted to the point where people are like, is she really being genuine or is she being salesy? Try to be natural. In every message, ask, does this sound like something I respond to? Do I sound like I'm being real? Or do I sound like I actually care? Am I listening to their needs, or am I wanting to be listened to because I'm so excited I know this shit works? Sorry, a swear was bound to come out there. But definitely offered where needed. And you may go through the entire process, guys, and not offer anything at all. And that's okay, because when you do, you'll be confident at that point when you're ready to make that offer. I would just say that, you can get up to the point where you feel like they're really hesitant. I've also done something in the past where I've asked them questions like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how interested are you? Because if they're at a 5, you may want to come back and it may not be the right time for them. So really be patient and, go through the step-by-step process, but take time. Don't be frustrated if you're not going to hit a Success Club point. You want them to have that good experience. So patience is a big one. All right. Then we have knowledge of the product. So knowledge of the product is huge because even if you haven't done a program, the nice thing about especially this team, we have most likely, like I know Amanda has done like 5 different programs. I've done a lot of programs. There is someone on the team that if you don't understand, like a 3-day refresh or size or PIO, there is someone on this team that's going to be able to give you a little bit of information about it and talk about their personal experience, because that's probably what you're going to drive it home with. But another thing is that you're going to want to go back in the back office and really be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. Because again, you're the face of the company. So encourage you guys to use that FAQ to go in the back office and, look under each product, even if it's just the description, know what comes with it. Because if you assume, I've done this in the past, I'm going to call myself out. When I first started selling the 3-day refresh, I thought they got a shaker cup. And then they'd get it and they were like, there's no shaker cup. So I had to go buy them and give them a shaker cup because, I felt like that was the right thing to do. And they appreciated it, but it was my fault for not looking it up and seeing what came with the package. You know what I mean? So just simple things like that. And it's okay to ask your peers, but try to be a little proactive in your own mind and maybe keep like a little log and, break it out for yourself and have something to flip through and be knowledgeable about each one of the products. And I don't think it's necessarily always just the actual product itself that we have to be knowledgeable about, but it's also about Beachbody and knowing like what we offer. So what kind of deals are offered at this time, knowing what the challenge pack specials are, what the kind of discounts they could get, meaning could they be a coach, how certain ways of ordering. So be really knowledgeable. And if you don't feel 100% confident, that's okay. But maybe that's an area of personal development that you want to work on. So talk to your coach about it. Definitely, get back in the FAQ. If you don't know what that is, it's a huge tool that's used in the back office and everything has a number on it. So, and 9 times out of 10, you could probably Google something and find information about it as well, which I do 100% of the time, mostly. So, alrighty. Did we have someone else jump on? I thought I saw another 773 number. Who jumped on? Anybody else?
Yes. Hey, it's Deborah Lanuccia.
Hi, Deborah. I don't know that I met you. I'm Carly. How are you?
Great. How are you? I did meet you at Coach Confessions. I was one of the pregnant people.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
I was at the table with the pregnant people.
Yay, the pregnant table. How are you?
There's like 100 of us. So.
Yeah, I know. Amanda said that in her status the other day. I was laughing with all the pregnant people, Amanda. All right. Well, glad to have you. I know.
Thanks.
Sure. The next point that we're discussing is positive language. And positive language is just one thing, guys, that I know it's easy to be positive because we're surrounded by positive people all the time. But if for some reason you have a really fussy customer, and I know this doesn't happen very often, or you have someone that's being negative, or you're in a situation where somebody's like, I only drink B, Shakeology sucks, I've tried it, I don't like it. Try to be positive no matter what curveball you're thrown at. So for example, I always have done this. If somebody says, I'm doing T25, but I'm drinking Slim Fast. I'm like, okay, well, how is that working for you? So you're interested in what they're saying, but you're still being positive about it. And then maybe their response is, well, I'm not getting the results that I want. And I said, okay, well, can you, have you ever thought about trying it this way? Just making sure that anytime there's a negative thrown at you, just make sure that you're coming back in a positive manner and that you're always representing the company to the fullest effect. And we're not necessarily putting any other company down. I know there's a lot of comparisons out there. Like, for example, I've done Advocare and some people really love their shakes. I've done isogenic. Some people really love their shakes, but I've never once put something down. I've always talked about my experience and how positive it was, and then related it back and said, hey, listen, it wasn't that I didn't like this, but this one worked better for me, and here's why. I had these results, and I just felt like it fit better with my lifestyle, and I like the taste of Shakeology better, and the support, and it was cheaper, whatever, however you want to frame it up. So remember to be positive always, and any chance that you get. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is fortune in the follow-up. And this one's huge, guys, because the follow-up is something I think most of us probably struggle with. I talked a little bit about this earlier, and if you're in the middle of a conversation and say you end with a question and all of a sudden it's crickets and a day or two has gone by, I would recommend definitely following up within 48 to 72 hours and just saying, hey, have you had a chance to watch that video? Or hey, just checking in. Another really good piece of follow-up that I use is just liking something on their page, or, you know, commenting on one of their pictures, just so they kind of get the knowledge to, oh, I forgot about Carly, or, oh, I forgot about Katie. I have to get back to her. So you're not necessarily hounding them. If they don't respond after that, even try them again in a few weeks, or maybe even, you know, the next month. Don't let it upset you. Sometimes people just get busy. I guarantee you everyone on this call have been in a situation where we have kind of forgotten about somebody that we're supposed to get back to some extent, or got back to them way later than we really anticipated because we just got busy. So try not to take it personal, but don't let them know that maybe in a message like this, you know, I just wanted to make sure that you were included. I'm starting a challenge group. You know, would you still like to be involved? So you kind of make sure that they know that you didn't forget about them, but you're also kind of giving them a sense of urgency. Hey, listen, we're starting the challenge group on this date. Want to make sure you weren't left out. You know, would you like to join us? So follow-up is huge. Follow-up is also huge when people order and get their order. So if they do decide to go through and get a challenge pack, what are we doing after that? Are we following up? Hey, can you let me know when your package got there? Did you send them a welcome email that helped them, get prepared? Are you then telling them when the new challenge group is? Or are you kind of leaving them hanging? And, I always try to track people's progress. Another thing, within 30 days, it's really important to stay close with those people and make sure that if they're on home direct, to actually, remind them, hey, this might be coming out of your bank account. People don't like surprises. A lot of people don't realize that they're getting home direct again, and that's a big bill if they're getting it at the regular price. So making sure that you're following up with, certain things. So I think that's really the big points with consulting. The other thing I would say that I looked up, and there's a huge statistic out there, and it said that 15 million Americans actually consult social media before they buy any product. So I found this to be interesting because I know I do it. So like if I'm going to I'm just about to post a status because I want to get my carpet cleaned, and I decided that I wanted to post a status and ask people what they did to get their carpet cleaned. That means I'm essentially going to Facebook and I'm asking a bunch of people. So if someone hears the word Shakeology or the 21-day fix or anything with Beachbody, they're going to think of you directly. So it's kind of interesting that people, gravitate to social media because it's such a big, it's not like we're looking things up in the yellow book anymore. So keep that in mind when you're out there. You can also be a huge recommendation for someone. So I thought that fact was really, really interesting that people consult the internet, because I know I do. But that's all I really have for consulting. I know there's a million other points out there. Some stuff you may have already heard. Some stuff you may have not heard at all. So I hope this benefited you a little bit. And I'm going to post this, but does anyone have any questions about anything that I covered or any ads out there?
No, I don't think so.
Good.
I think if you're in the Goal Getters group, Jennifer Go Big Cronin, she posted today. Did you guys see this?
No.
According to the National Sales Executive Association, is the average sales is 2% on the first contact, 3% on second, 5% on third, 10% on fourth, 80% on fifth through 12th contact. And then it says 95% of all network marketers stop after the initial contact, and 99% give up after only 2 follow-ups. So like, just to follow up on what Carly was saying about follow-ups, it's so key. Like, and I've had so many people say, oh, I don't know why I didn't see that message. Thanks for checking in with me. Like, they're not worried. They're not bothered most of the time. They either just don't want to like hurt your feelings. They don't want to tell you no at that time. Remember, no just means not right now. Or they sometimes just forget to message you back. We are all busy. We're all guilty of it. So I would just not be afraid of that follow-up and just message them and say, hey, I didn't want to leave you out. Like, I do that a lot. Like, if it's the last day before, like, they have to order, like, hey, I didn't want to leave you out. I know you were interested. Are you still interested? Or something really basic to get the conversation going again.
That's awesome. I didn't read those statistics, and you're totally right. I've had people, and it's almost like, how can I compare it to this? It's like a guy that asks you out like all the time. Like at first you're like, no, not even close. And then the second time you're like, okay, buddy, like you're done. And then the third time you're like, well, that was kind of cute. And by the fourth time you're finally like, all right, man, like fine, buy me dinner. Like, it's kind of like the same thing as a coach, right? You're being persistent. You know that the person like truly, genuinely wants to actually like you to experience. Like, I always say that I'm like, when I get excited after I know that someone's committed, I'm like, I'm sorry I sound like such a nerd right now, but I'm so excited for you because I just want people to experience what I have. And then they're like, oh, well, that's cool. She's not in it for my money, And that's a very, that's the truth of it too. So be persistent like that, not so cute guy that might end up the dude you marry. What'd you say?
I think she's talking to someone else.
Oh, she was talking to someone.
Sorry, everyone's coming home. Everyone's coming home now in my house, so it's getting a little loud.
It's all good. I just thought you were going to say that Ben was like the persistent guy that asked you out like a million times. No, I'm just kidding. You probably fell for him right away, but no, that's a really good point. And I do that with a lot of people, especially if they show any interest or I keep seeing them like my posts. I'm like, okay, I know you like something about me and you might not be ready, but I'm still going to ask you anyways. And I don't care if I'm annoying. I used to care all the time, and now that's somewhere along the line when you get more confident and you do your personal development, that goes away. So don't forget to keep following up and be the face of the company. Just make sure that you represent who you really are. Don't try to be someone that you're not. You don't have to take my words from this call, make them your own. Take Amanda's advice. Lindsay's really good with consulting too. A lot of these notes I took directly from her. So the last thing I would say, does anyone else have any questions? Okay. Last thing I would say is Super Saturday. I know Amanda was probably going to talk about this if I didn't. But guys, this is a big event. For anyone that's listening, I know Katie just asked me about it, so I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Confession. I have never been to Super Saturday, and I'm sad that I haven't. I have not been to one in Chicago. I've been to one in Atlanta. Because every time one happens in Chicago, the only one I was in town for was the day of my wedding shower. So all I can say is that Super Saturday is so, so important. And Amanda can talk to it better because she's probably been to every single one of them. But this one is huge because Carl Deichler is going to be there. So what you're doing at Super Saturday is you're there with a group of all coaches, like from everywhere in the network. They're not just from your team. They're from everyone in Beachbody. And it's everyone that's going to be in your area, so the Chicagoland area, so to speak. You're going to learn education. You're going to meet people. You're going to be networking. You're going to do a live workout. I know there's a million things more, but it's fun. It's energetic. Like it really, these live events, I know that for a fact, like they're a huge pick-me-up. Amanda just went to one. Amanda, what would you say about Super Saturday? It's awesome, right? I know you just went to another live event.
Yeah, because it's good you can bring guests too for free because they talk about the opportunity. There's a financial success story, a weight loss success story. You just really get to see what Beachbody is all about. And either as a new coach or a veteran coach or a guest, it's just awesome because they always play a video from corporate, so you get to see people talking. I mean, and we're going to have Carl there himself, which is just awesome because he's always so motivating. And then usually there's a top coach of some sort or some coach giving a presentation on something. I'm not sure what it is this time. And actually, I'm trying to see if I bought my ticket yet. So I don't remember if I did.
They're only $20 right now, right?
Yeah.
So they're 20, but they're originally 25. So the pre-sale is $5 less because I just saw that. And I'm coming in town for this one. My husband might come. Yeah. Well, I want to meet Carl. Is that ridiculous? Well, I'm going to be home for Christmas, and then I was like trying to extend my stay, but it's not going to work, so I'll just come back. I have a lot of flyer miles, so I'm definitely coming. So Katie, I'll be there. I know you're the only one on the call, but anyone that's listening, like, please, I encourage you to be there. Like, it's going to be so fun. You'll get to meet Amanda. You get to meet a ton of people from the team, and it's like you have all these friends from the internet that you never thought you had. Like, me and Deborah are homies because we've never even met, but we know each other from Facebook, and then we met once, and it was like, oh, I feel like you just get me. It's awesome. It's a blast. Coach Summit is also pretty fun. And then Amanda went to Platinum Edge this weekend, which is basically our upline's huge team event, and I'm jealous that I didn't get to go.
It was awesome. Next year, our whole team better be there. I can't.
Well, I like
tell you how awesome it was.
Yes, I like that it sounds really intimate too. Like it's not, thousands.
It was 1,000 people.
That's awesome, and that's great. That's a great turnout too.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah, you get the top coaches on our team, so it's cool.
Awesome. Any questions about anything, guys, or anything you wanted to add? I miss anything? I know there's a lot coming up. I would just encourage you guys. This is a little bit of a tough time of year. If you were easy going last month, it's not normal for you to have a tough time this month, but it's definitely possible. I finally just hit Success Club myself, but it took me almost 20 days. Did you? Woo!
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's tough though. Like it's, just keep emphasizing that it's like surviving the holidays or, encouraging people, because everyone I talk to is like, I'm going to wait till the first of the year. And I'm like, listen, you don't have to like stop your life and just to do this. You can get started and then do 150% when you start in the new year. But keep at it. It's definitely possible. If you have any trouble, please feel free to reach out. We're always here for you. And thank you guys so much for joining. I hope this was beneficial to some extent. And I'm going to post the recording. And I'm also going to post this little deck I have here. So you guys can take some of those scripts that I was saying and kind of use them for yourselves out there. Sound good?
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you too. Bye.
Bye.